Maxwell, you dirtfoot whore. Turn your phone. Let me show you something. This week, Ghislaine Maxwell, the accomplice of egg dick pedophile and suicide victim Jeffrey Epstein, was arrested and the world finally found out how to pronounce her stupid fucking name. I always thought it was Ghislaine, which doesn't sound like a British socialite. It sounds like what's inside a rap groupie's stomach. Maxwell was accused of recruiting, grooming, trafficking, and abusing cabinets full of underage girls, not as a producer at Miramax, but as Epstein's right hand in their child sex ring. Congrats, feminists! Female pedophile kingpins are finally getting the attention they deserve. The patriarchy has been crushed like Epstein's windpipe. Their human trafficking operation was over 20 years old, or as Epstein would say, ugh. They were enabled by a powerful network of politicians, billionaires, celebrities, and Kevin Spacey, which is weird because he's not even into girls. I guess he's just that into rape. So all this begs the question, why did the arrest take so long, and where the fuck was this guy? Now, some say they were able to fly under the radar because they had powerful friends, like former president and sex god Bill Clinton, who rode on Epstein's plane 27 times. Now, I'm not saying he knew anything about underage girls, but 27 times? You didn't see a retainer lying around? It didn't make you nervous that Epstein passed out iPads to keep the girls quiet? You weren't curious when he put his oxygen mask on before assisting the girls around him? It wasn't peculiar that they didn't call it first class, they called it homeroom? None of that, Bill? Their network didn't just include past presidents, but the current one too. Old Donald used to party with Epstein back in the day before banning him from Mar-a-Lago for hitting on an underage girl. Trump said their friendship fell apart not over Chuck E. Cheese sex parties, but rather a real estate bidding war. In typical Epstein fashion, he refused to go to a higher number and lost out on his development wet dreams. It wasn't just presidents. Maxwell and Epstein were connected to royalty too. They were close personal friends with human penguin Prince Andrew. The prince loved everything about Epstein, especially the teen. On 5 occasions, he visited Jeffrey's estate in the Virgin Islands. Virgin? I'm not even going to make that joke. That's too childish. Like their girlfriends. They would go on shooting holidays together. What kind of shooting? Skeet? In 2010, the Duke of York was so disgusted by the news that his longtime pal was a pedo that he decided to fly to New York and party with him for 4 days. He even stayed at the Diddler's townhouse. Why did he stay there?
But you were staying at the house of a convicted sex offender.
It was a convenient place to stay.
Yeah, convenient if you want to have sex with children, you Scooby-Doo villain-looking motherfucker, and you would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those meddling kids. Presidents, royalty, but don't leave out the billionaires. I mean, if you're trying to run an international pedophile ring, you need money from countless secret sources, right? Nope. One guy, billionaire business boy and Epstein's sole client, Les Wexner. He owns Victoria's Secret. The secret, she's 13. I mean, look at this fucking scumbag. He looks like Spock's grandfather. Ears like that, and you didn't hear any rumors at all? Wexner isn't the only one. Bill Gates met with Epstein after he was a registered sex offender. Don't worry though. Billionaire 100 times over, Bill Gates had a great reason. He needed money. Bill was fundraising for his charity. Hey, Bill, the funds have been raised. Remember that thing, Windows? Did you call it that because that's what you guys were peeping into? Anyway, hey, not now, Clippy. Wait, what? But who knows? They probably have a lot in common. Bill wants to inject foreign kids, and Epstein was like, hey, me too. Now, when you're doing all this shady shit, you're going to need some legal advice, and who better to give it than piss-toothed lawyer Alan Dershowitz? When he's not sending soup back at a diner, he's busy defending those who have fallen through the cracks of the justice system. O.J. Simpson, Harvey Weinstein, and of course, Jeffrey. I mean, this guy's gotten off more predators than Epstein's masseuse. When asked if he had ever gotten a massage at Epstein's house, here's what he said.
I kept my underwear on during the massage.
Why do you distinctly remember that, you fuck? As if you can't have sex with your underwear still on. You just got to stick your little St. James through that hole in the front. Also, you don't like massages?
I don't like massages particularly.
So why the fuck did you get one? I don't like carrots. If I'm offered some carrots, I'm going to say no, especially if they're baby carrots. So you're probably thinking, how come they were never arrested before this? Well, they were. Epstein was charged the first time in 2008, and he pled guilty, registered as a sex offender, and had to pay 36 victims. 36! How do you even keep track of that? You must need an expensive filing cabinet. Anyway, he served barely a year in a private wing of the jail where he had the freedom to leave 6 days a week. The illegal deal struck by then District Attorney and Geico spokesperson Alex Acosta was so sweet, Ghislaine almost recruited it into sexual slavery. It was negotiated by Dershowitz, who kept his underwear on the entire time. Good boy. So what does all this mean? I'll be honest, I don't fucking know. And anyone that says they do is full of shit. Maybe Epstein didn't kill himself. And maybe Epstein isn't even dead. And maybe Ghislaine and Epstein were working on behalf of some government intelligence to blackmail powerful people, not that blackmail. After all, Ghislaine's dad was an Israeli spy, and her sisters wrote software for the FBI. But with everything we know, how is anyone still calling this a baseless conspiracy theory? How come conspiracies are only baseless when they're questioning powerful politicians, but not when it's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of conspiracy theories are stupid as hell. The earth isn't flat. We're not controlled by lizard people. And no one's turning frogs gay unless you count Kermit getting fisted. But questioning suspicious events in good faith shouldn't be considered fringe. It's what we should all be doing. I mean, to believe that some government intelligence would sexualize underage women in an attempt to gather intel on a population for political control, that's totally crazy, right? I mean, that could never happen. No way. Maybe the question we should all be asking is why conspiracy theories, which have always existed in the dark corners of the internet, have all of a sudden become mainstream. Maybe it's because of the complete lack of trust in news. I mean, how can we trust a media that appears to be pushing some type of biased agenda and a president that constantly calls into question the validity of any news at all? And let's be honest, sometimes a conspiracy is more comforting. It's easier to believe that a virus is an enemy bioweapon rather than a random natural disaster that we have no control over. Each and every event should be scrutinized in good faith, and our opinions should be accepting of new evidence. We should all be vigilant, but not vigilantes, skeptical, but not skeptics, cynical, but not cynics. And remember, if you're ever in the company of a registered sex offender and receiving a sensual massage from an unknown woman, keep your underwear on. Thanks, guys. Peace.